Could you please elaborate on what politically, of course, how do you describe what is the fundamental, what are the fundamental elements of politically of the Merkel style?
There's good and the bad in the Merkel style. The Merkel style was, of course, on substance committed to the pro-European way. My criticism on Merkel is not that she has not been performing as a pro-European. My criticism on Merkel was and still is that she was not fighting for Europe. I can give best proof in the days when we were in the climax of the Greek crisis. In the climax of the Greek crisis, Conservative Commission's President Barroso proposed a European solution of how to tackle the financial crisis in Europe. Schauble and Merkel insisted on a national way to tackle that. This gave birth to the Troika mechanism, which was not only progress. You know all the problems of the Troika politics and their implementation. There was a lack of parliamentary control. There was no say in the European Parliament. There was also a lack of national parliamentarian control. And at the end of the day, it was the government of bureaucrats. And many of the shortcomings and failures in Portugal, in Greece, were due to that fact that the architecture was not put on the right place. She never gave a big speech in Germany to defend the Eurozone. She never explained to people why it's first of all, also deeply German interest to stabilize the euro and the Eurozone. And if you look at the right-wing development, the extremist development in Germany, you could see that the Alternative für Deutschland started as an anti-euro movement and developed towards an extremely right-wing and xenophobian party. So it could have been stopped with an outspoken speech. It could have been stopped with an outspoken fight and explanation. As a comparison, if you ask me what do you mean, one of the last big speeches Helmut Schmidt gave as an elder statesman was on a SPD party convention when he said, in his typical personal wisdom, when he said, don't forget in economics, in the Eurozone, the permanent surpluses of the ones are by nature the permanent deficits of the others. So he was obviously able, so this is like a statesman has to speak, he was obviously able to put a very complex economic interrelationship into the explanation of one clear-cut sentence. I never ever had Madame Merkel in all her years in a one-liner like that. So this is a lack of political leadership. And the lack of political leadership, if it comes from Germany, the Germans have to pay, but all the others as well.